is going on, guys? JD from New York, and this is WWE Behind the Mic, one of my favorite series to bring you guys right here on my channel. This is Behind the Mic number 6, and I think the last time I came to you guys with the Behind the Mic was for WrestleMania 30. We talked about the entire Daniel Bryan situation. I gave you guys my opinion on that, and the WWE really put on an impressive show with WrestleMania 30. I gave you my preview, my predictions, my analysis, my overall thoughts on the entire Daniel Bryan situation. We were left with Daniel Bryan standing as the WWE Champion. We got that happy ending, and I congratulate WWE on such a great show. WrestleMania 30 really proved to be the biggest of all time. But we are going to talk about wrestling in this Behind the Mic. We're going to talk about what the title says. We're going to talk about Dolph Ziggler. We're going to talk about why he has not main evented WWE, why he probably will never main event WWE. We're going to talk about the mistakes he's made and why the WWE is not pushing him, especially since he's such an underutilized talent, one of the better talents on the roster, probably one of the best. I would put him in the top 5, no question. But this is going to be more of a real-life thing leading into what I want to talk about. I'm very proud, and I'm very lucky, fortunate, and it's really unreal what happened to me today, and we're going to talk about that. But, me being a WWE guy, and me, being on here, I'm passionate about what I do. I love the product. I love bringing you guys my opinions every week. And I can remember back when I first got into the WWE, I was a big Ultimate Warrior guy. I was such a big Ultimate Warrior guy that when I heard of his passing, reading about it on Twitter, I was legitimately shocked. I remember exactly what I was doing. I had a PS4 controller in my hand, and I couldn't do what I was doing at that point in time. I had to just shut everything down, and I just sat there, not believing what I was reading. I was heartbroken when Jim Hellwig passed. It was unbelievable. I remember exactly where I was, WrestleMania 5, and I was sitting in front of my grandmother's TV in her living room, watching the Ultimate Warrior be beat by the great, late, ravishing Rick Rude. He lost the IC title to Rude. Bobby Heenan helped him, held the foot underneath the bottom rope, and Heenan secured a victory for Rude, new IC champion. I cried. I was upset. I was a big Ultimate Warrior guy. And I knew then and there that my passion for WWE was going to be a lifetime. I love the product. No matter how good it is, no matter how bad it is, no matter how much they're struggling, months on end to deliver a decent product. I'm with them in the highs. I am with them in the lows. That's what I do. When every one of my friends abandoned the product and stopped watching, I was continuing to watch week in and week out. I never missed a Monday Night Raw. And the reason why I'm on YouTube to give you guys my opinion is because, like I said, I am passionate and dedicated to bring you guys, a honest, truthful opinion about the product. I want to voice my opinion out there. I went to school for communications, and I fell out of it because schooling wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I eventually found work. I moved to Atlantic City, New Jersey. Then I moved back to New York, and I got a great job in Lower Manhattan with a company for 5 years. I eventually got fired and let go because just like how you guys know me on here, I'm very truthful, I'm very honest. I am not afraid to voice my opinion. My voice that day got me fired. I sold high-end, luxury timepieces. I was the youngest on a staff of 50, 60, 70-year-old guys who had so much more experience over me. I voiced my opinion about something that I thought was the wrong thing at the time, for a big business to do, especially if it's harming me as an employee. I voiced my opinion. I was fired on Black Friday. And I took to YouTube as an escape. I was unemployed for 9 months. I decided, you know what, let me buy a nice microphone. Let me buy something to record myself with, digital camera for my computer. And I went at it, and I started posting YouTube videos. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my channel, but I eventually found my way. And what I'm trying to get at is, the reason why I'm on here is because I took a chance, I took a risk. And I had no direction whatsoever. I didn't care about getting noticed. I didn't care about, making fans and developing an audience. I just wanted to just talk. Whether it be about real life, whether it be about wrestling, I just wanted to voice my opinion. Here we come to Extreme Rules. This year's Extreme Rules. There was a Monday Night Raw showing at Public House here in New York City. My friend Ariel is the general manager of that bar. I haven't seen him in years. Seen him, he looks great. And he asks me, "Whoa, yo, man, what are you doing here? You look great." Like, yeah, man, I'm here to see some of the guys from WrestleZone.com. You know, they're throwing a nice little party here for Monday Night Raw. There's a pay-per-view next Sunday. $35, all you can drink, all you can eat, you know. So I'm like, you know what, let's go. Tell my girlfriend, let's go. And the reason why I wanted to go was because Justin LaBar was going to be there. Now, Justin is a big influence on how I perceive the wrestling business. I've been watching him and CSR for 3 years, religiously. I never miss a show. And what he does as a personality in the wrestling business, to me, and I'm not kissing ass, I'm not on here to, you know, gloat about how big of a fan I am. I'm being honest with you guys like I always am, no matter what I'm talking about. He knows how to get it done. He's got a great presence in front of the camera. He knows what he's talking about. He has great ideas to the point where I think he could be on the WWE creative and take that organization to the next level. And he's got a show on WrestleZone.com, Chairshot Reality, that is my goal. That is my goal, to achieve something like that. That is the reason why I'm on here. I didn't have any idea what I was doing in the beginning, but now I see where I want to go. What he does for the wrestling business and wrestling talk, engaging the fans about the product, he does it better than anybody, along with his team of guys. Josh Eisenberg, Brian Goulash, these guys are amazing at what they do. And from here on out, I am going to be giving you guys everything that they're doing. I'm going to support them to the fullest on here because out of the kindness of his heart, Justin actually shouted me out, shouted this channel out on Chairshot Reality. Now, the reason why this came to be is because we met him at this viewing, Monday Night Raw, at the Public House. And I was a little starstruck, you know. I don't mean to be that way, but obviously when you're listening to somebody for 3 years and reading all his work on Bleacher Report and listening to him on Trib Live, and he's sitting right in front of you while you're drinking a Bud Light, obviously it's a little, you know, you get starstruck for a little bit, you know. Here I am acting like a geek and trying to talk wrestling with him, and I know he wants to enjoy his drink and watch the show. And my girlfriend was tweeting with him, a couple of weeks. She was talking to him, just making small talk. And she offered the idea that when he was in town, which he was at that day, we were going to take him out for a few drinks. Next thing you know, after Monday Night Raw ended, we asked him, hey man, you want to come out for a few beers? He's like, sure. Next thing you know, I'm walking down the street with him. He's in my girlfriend's car giving me tips on this channel. That's the reason why you see Off The Script, Part 1, 2, and 3. And, he just was a down-to-earth, great guy. Drank with him for 5 hours. We went to this bar. We had beers. We had shots. We had, we were dancing to a nice jazz band. Having just a good time, letting loose. He's a great guy, great personality, and he's fun to hang around with. And he shouted me out on his show. To me, that's a big deal. And Chairshot Reality, they do, like I said, better than anybody on the internet when it comes to wrestling talk. It's like the ESPN of wrestling. They upload every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Great wrestling talk, and I want you guys to be on board with what they do. And the reason why I'm talking about that, because I'm giving him a thank you for shouting me out of the kindness of his heart. Dude, if you're watching this, thank you for everything. And I look forward to hopefully working with you in the future and helping you out in the process because of what you did for me. Not only because you shouted me out, because you are an inspiration to what I do on here. And I value your opinion and everything that you say, and I look up to you as a wrestling personality. Not only as a wrestling personality, but as a friend, because I have the opportunity to say that I actually drank with you, hung out with you, and just, roamed New York City with. It was a fucking awesome feeling. But what I want to do is I want to lead into what they do on Chairshot Reality. I want to get you guys familiar with what they do on Chairshot Reality. And speaking of Dolph Ziggler, Justin is going to give you his opinion on why Dolph Ziggler is not being pushed in the WWE and what he thinks Dolph Ziggler should do as a superstar going forward in the wrestling business. I value this, and I watch this, and there's no reason anybody should disagree with him because the opinions he gives you, absolutely valid. And I want you guys to be on board with what he does. I'm going to segue into a clip of him talking about Dolph Ziggler. I'll be right back after it's over. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I'll be back, guys.
Look, the reality is this. Dolph Ziggler is being underutilized. Dolph Ziggler is one of the best talents they have. And it's not just because he's an internet sensation, the guy bell to bell's a great performer. He sells his ass off. He can talk on the mic. He's got a charismatic personality. People want to like him. People want him to make money. They want to invest in him. You might even be able to argue, and there's an argument there, that if you look, Daniel Bryan is popular as all hell. I'm not going to say he's not, but you see more Dolph Ziggler shirts at times, more Dolph Ziggler merchandise than sometimes you do Daniel Bryan in the crowd. Dolph Ziggler has the following. He's there. But it's politics, unfortunately. And from what I hear, Triple H just don't like him.
And everything.
But I stand by this point. Dolph Ziggler's made his money. He's gotten to be World Heavyweight Champion, albeit it wasn't the best runs, but he's gotten to be World Heavyweight Champion. He's been U.S. Champion. He's gotten to do a lot of things, and he's been in WWE for a long time. I say this and people think I'm crazy. If I'm Dolph Ziggler, whenever that contract expires, get the hell out. And people think I'm crazy, and people are enamored by WWE. Yes, WWE is the machine. They are number one. But think about this, and what a lot of people don't realize, especially about the independent scene. Dolph Ziggler's at a point now. He's made his six-figure downside guarantees with WWE. He's made his money. He's got his bonus. He could leave WWE, and at least for a good amount of time, at least for a year, 2 years, he could go and he could get booked on the independent circuit, and he would make more money per appearance than he would per appearance for WWE, and he'd be doing less work on the indie scene. Plus, the promoter would pay all of his travel. He could ask for that, and they would pay all of his travel. That's very common if you're the top guy, top name coming in on any show. Whereas in WWE, he's got to pay for all of his travel because he's an independent contractor. He'd keep all of his merch money, and he would still get residual checks from WWE for the merch that it still sells through them, and DVDs it sells. So Dolph Ziggler right now could go out and kind of do what we've seen Matt Hardy do, what we've seen Luke Gallows do. And I'm saying it because we know them, and I've been able to talk about their money. These guys have done well since leaving WWE, and WWE's invited them back when they're ready to come back. So Dolph Ziggler could be out, and he could actually have potentially the door back open and a better spot waiting for him.
Now,
Dolph Ziggler, and WWE's going to continue to hold on to Ziggler. People say, why don't they just let him go? Because they would rather keep him under their wings and not let him make money elsewhere. And they can do that up until that contract expires. Whenever his contract expires, get the hell out.
Two quick things. Number one, you mentioned his problems in real life. Maybe Triple H doesn't like him and getting over. Is there a possibility?
Well, Dolph said some things, too.
Okay, well, now maybe we bring that into real life, and maybe Dolph Ziggler is an option to join the Shield at some point and go against Evolution and
that is exactly what you guys are going to get every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on Chairshot Reality, WrestleZone.com. That's exactly the reason why I choose them over everybody else regarding wrestling content on the internet. Three guys who know what they're talking about, highly entertaining. And Justin, if you're watching, bro, thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I am absolutely privileged that you even mentioned me on Share Shot Reality. And next time you're in New York, man, you ain't buying a goddamn drink. Everything is on me and Maria, and we're going to have a great time. I can't wait to hang out with you again, man. Thank you very much. Now, Dolph Ziggler. What more do I add to this entire Dolph Ziggler scenario? Why isn't he being pushed? Why isn't the WWE taking advantage of such a talent like Dolph Ziggler? I can sit here and tell you until I'm blue in the face why I love Dolph Ziggler, why I think he should be a WWE champion in the company, why he should be at least contending for titles, whatever. I can think of many scenarios to put Ziggler in to have him thrive and succeed. But what Justin said makes absolute sense. And I'm going to agree with on everything that he gave you in that one clip that I just showed you. Everything. There's not one part of it that I can disagree with. We all love Ziggler. We all want to see him succeed. We all know he has the skill and the talent to get over. But this is a scenario of big business, WWE, holding him down. I was fired because I had a big mouth. Ziggler's being held down because he's very vocal and he wears his heart on his sleeve like me. He was the one guy who took to social media. Now, mind you, WWE is a giant on social media. This is where they thrive. Social media is their domain. Dolph Ziggler takes to social media as soon as Daniel Bryan gets hurt and says, listen, WWE, you need someone to step up for the absence of Daniel Bryan? Look no further. I'm right here. I've been ready. I want this. You can't say that. No matter how many people agree with him, no matter how many retweets and favorites that one tweet got, WWE does not want to see that because it gives them a bad image. He said the same thing about his match with Batista on SmackDown a few months back. WWE apparently edited out Ziggler chants in Milwaukee, and he took to Twitter to vent his frustrations. Yeah, WWE, thank you for editing out those Let's Go Ziggler chants. But Milwaukee, regardless, thank you for a memorable moment that I will never forget. Again, the WWE does not want to see that. He messed himself up just by those two instances. Never mind the instance at SummerSlam, I forgot what year it was, where he spoke down about Randy Orton. You're going to pick fights and degrade Randy Orton's character in the WWE in an interview by some radio station? You just fucked yourself of a career. Do you guys imagine? Can you guys imagine, the severity of that problem as it fucking unfolded? Do you guys remember what happened to Mr. Kennedy in WWE? Randy Orton single-handedly got him fired. Single-handedly, done. I was a big fan of Kennedy in WWE. I was a huge fan of him. Next thing you know, he's not with the company anymore. Why? Because he fucked up in the ring with Randy Orton. Fucked up. And here you got Dolph Ziggler talking bad about Randy Orton of all people. The Viper. Not going to push your career in the right direction, man. Not going to. The giant that WWE is right now on social media, you can't be saying that kind of thing. You got to be somewhat professional. Yes, we all want Ziggler to succeed. We all want to see him thrive. We all want to see him in the best possible situation. You don't know how many times I get, JD, what's going on with Ziggler? What is your thoughts on Ziggler? Listen to Justin, guys. He laid it out perfectly for each and every one of you listening to me right now. Ziggler is best leaving the WWE. Have his contract run out. Go to the independents and prove your worth. You'll make just as much money down there. You won't see any shortage of cash. You'll gain a new following. Get more people familiar with what you do, just in case they don't know, or reaffirmed with what you do, since you're on the grandest stage of them all in WWE. But you're never on TV. You're hardly on TV on WWE. People don't even realize that you're still with the roster. People think that you're going to be let go, released, fired, whatever. Go to Ring of Honor. Go to TNA. Either one of those promotions would be happy to have you. I'm sure of it. Any one of those promotions would gladly hand you their world champion. I could see Ziggler as a world champion anywhere, including the WWE. That's how good he is. When I see Ziggler, I see young Shawn Michaels and Mr. Perfect gel together. He may not be as great as those. He may never amount to be anything those two were. But when I see Ziggler, I see Perfect. Why? Because Ziggler throws the prettiest dropkick in all of wrestling. I see Perfect because, in my honest opinion, Mr. Perfect had the best looking dropkick out of anyone I ever seen. Ziggler is being held down by the big business, by the big company, because they don't want to see him succeed. He was one of those guys that never, he was just engulfed in that black hole, that black hole where WWE has this great talent and they just, whatever, throw it away. Same thing's happening with Sandow. Why isn't Sandow being pushed? I don't know. Imagine what Damien Sandow is thinking right now. What is Sandow thinking about his time in WWE? We all know he can go in the ring. They messed him up and took his robe away from him. They took the towel away from him. They took the microphone away from him. That gimmick was gold. That gimmick was gold. Absolutely. Same thing with Ziggler. Ziggler's gold in the ring. He's got the look. He's got the attitude. He's got the mic skill. He's got the in-ring work to the point where he can compete with anybody, rope to rope, belt to belt in that ring. But he just could not escape that black hole. He was not the next Daniel Bryan. He was not the next CM Punk. And they all have the same physique. Bryan and Punk aren't the biggest guys, but they made themselves household names. They somehow escaped that black hole that swallows mid-carders in WWE and just doesn't let them go. He couldn't be the next Bryan and Punk. Why? Because WWE didn't want him to be. Ziggler really didn't add anything to that either. He fucked up on his own with Twitter and speaking out and wearing his heart on his sleeve. I agree with Justin. Ziggler goes to the independents, Ring of Honor, TNA, whatever, establishes himself there. Maybe that opens up the door for him to come back in 2, 3, 4 years back in WWE if he wants to come back and succeed at that next level. But he should be succeeding right now. WWE's foolish. WWE really doesn't understand the plethora of talent they have in the locker room right now. They're short on mid-card guys. I mean, they're not really short on mid-card guys. They just have so much talent that they don't utilize it correctly. Bring back the King of the Ring. Develop these guys in important roles. Imagine Ziggler wins King of the Ring. Your career is made. Your career is made. WWE, I could speak about this for hours. About what I would do with the pay-per-views, how you would build new superstars, how to rebuild the tag team division, storylines I would give this one and that one. I don't want to make this an endless video. What I'm saying is, Ziggler's got the talent, Ziggler's got the skill, Ziggler has the look to succeed as a top WWE superstar. Absolutely. It's just the fact that he spoke out, he damaged his own potential to get to that next level. He won the World Heavyweight Championship. They took the belt off him because he suffered an unfortunate injury, concussion. Couldn't get back into the swing of things because WWE moved on. It's like the WWE wanted to just move on from Ziggler. He couldn't get back into the swing of things. He couldn't get reaffirmed with what the WWE was doing, and he was not placed in a meaningful storyline since. He's being held down by big business, by the big company, because they don't like him. And if they don't like you, you are not going anywhere. Same thing with me. They didn't like me. What did they do? They fired me. It would be best to see Ziggler on the independents. I want to see him succeed. And like Justin said, you can't disagree with what he said. Everything he said was absolutely accurate, correct, and I value that opinion. Absolutely the best opinion I've heard anywhere of Dolph Ziggler in this entire situation. But I'm going to end the video there, guys. Thank you all very much for listening to me today. This is Behind the Mic number 6. I don't know when I'll be back, but you can rest assured I will be back when the next big story hits, the next big topic hits the internet wrestling scene. And also, guys, make sure you check out Justin down below. Twitter, his personal webpage where you can access everything he does. Go to Twitter. Do me a favor before I end this video. Go to Twitter. Do me a favor. Tell him thank you. Tell him thank you for shouting out JD. Thank you for the support he has lent this channel. And tell him that you will be now watching CSR every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Show him some love because he certainly deserves it. Thank you, guys. I'm out. I'm going to enjoy a cold beverage. Relax on this Saturday night. You guys will be seeing this on Sunday. So take care, guys. I'll be back off the script. Part number 4, or part number 3, rather, number 4. Part number 3 on Monday for episode number 16. Don't miss it. A huge Shield episode. I got everything regarding the Shield situation. Seth Rollins' evolution, where it's going, why it happened. It's all in part number 3, guys. Stay tuned. I'm out. That's it. Take care.